from the Mike James Rock Show, I'm going to get this lovely gentleman to introduce himself.
Hey, I am Stephen from LostAlone.
And we were just having a natter off camera from everything from the super cool watch that you have to, things in the past first.
Yep.
We caught you at the Eden Project
Awesome.
by Chemical Romance, but you had an amazing description I want you to say on camera about what it was like playing there.
Yeah, it was kind of like genuinely, it was one of the most beautiful to look out from the stage. It was incredible there. And when I was on stage, I think I actually said this on stage, it felt like a big Jurassic Park fan, but it felt like Jurassic World, which is in the new movies.
Yeah.
It felt like that centre. And I just thought a pterodactyl was going to come down and just start picking off crowd members. And I said that on stage. People laughed, but I also think people also feared it a little bit. Like I'd arranged for some kind of crazy thing to happen. But yeah, it was a phenomenal... That was our first, other than like a tiny warm-up, that was our first show in 6 years as well.
That's crazy, especially supporting MCR as well for that.
Yeah, it was awesome.
They come back with a bang, for sure.
Yeah, we toured with them a lot. We had a small hiatus, but we toured with Mike M before, and I'd worked with those guys a little bit, and they when they announced their stadium shows, they asked if I wanted to do them solo, and I was like, well, actually the band's making new music, and they were like, awesome. So LostAlone were asked to do it, but then the pandemic hit and there was 2 years where we kept it secret.
Oh, that's crazy. That must have been killing you.
It's crazy. All it did was it gave us a chance. We made a record in lockdown, so we got to, although we waited 2 years, on one day last year we got to say, hey, we're back. On 2 minutes later, and we're doing stadium tour with My Chemical Romance, and we got a new album. And it was like the best day for just feeling happy about what you do. Hi, we're back. And it was so cool.
I mean, what a way to turn the absolute horribleness of a pandemic
completely
upside down, so that it actually gave you something from it.
Yeah, and I feel like as well, audiences since the pandemic have also been and the band's grateful. Not that you've ever no one had ever taken it for granted.
No.
But genuinely, the feeling of just the community of being at a show
100%.
feels so much more now than it ever did. And all the bands I talk to say the same. They've not that everyone gets jaded, but people are appreciating when they're on stage so much more that there is an audience there.
Maybe not jaded, but it was a bit stale.
Yeah, I think maybe for someone like me, I just love being on stage. But I think maybe for bands who are massive and tour all the time, and it's the same set, maybe they could be a little bit like, it is their job, which it is a job.
Oh, for sure.
But when you have it taken away from you and you realise, oh wow, this might... the start of the pandemic, no one knew. Is live touring ever going to come back?
Exactly, the whole thing was up in arms.
Yeah, it was crazy. So yeah, and so to be able to come back... I mean, when we did the Mike M shows, it was still... I don't know if you remember this, but it was still... every morning, my band and our crew all had to do tests.
Yeah,
and it was a full-on... We had to send proof to Mike M's tour manager that we were not positive. And so every day you're waking up going, I really hope I'm playing Milky Stadium tonight, because if our monitor guy has got COVID, none of us are allowed to go there.
That's crazy.
So it's kind of like a double-edged, nervous thing, and then when we all got our thing, it was like, yes, we're doing a gig.
And what's the funny thing is, the stage was the place that was probably exposing all of you guys the most anyway.
Yeah, so, it was crazy. We did a warm up the night before in our hometown Derby. I live in London now, but we all on our bass players in Carlisle, and our front of house was in Belfast, and we all descended upon Derby, and we played in a tiny room, and we were like, we had to say to the crowd, we're really sorry, but we're just going to play, and then we're going to not be anywhere near you, and we're going to get our van and go home, because we were just so worried. We didn't see family for that weekend. We were like, get us to a hotel room, just please, and then get us to the stage, because we just didn't... If any of my Chem got it, the show would get postponed. If one of us got it, the show would still go ahead, and we would have missed out.
Yeah.
So it was very nerve-wracking, but the show's awesome.
So it's a bit easier now, I'd say.
Yeah, definitely.
And you guys have, you were saying to me there's an interesting reason for your next tour, because you're going out with Mcfly.
Yeah, I love the fact that my bands can do stadiums with My Chemical Romance, and then a 22-day tour with Mcfly. And I don't think there's many bands that could do both of them.
Oh, God, no. Not at all.
I think we fall in a weird thing where both sets of fans like it and can like it. And also, today we're playing quite a metal day, so I'm bringing out the riffs. But the Mcfly thing came about because about 2 years ago, a guy called Jason Perry who's from a really cool band called A. And he's a producer now. He does Don Broco, he does Mcfly, he does a lot of...
Nice.
He called me up and said, can you send some riffs down to the Mcfly sessions? I was like, yeah, cool. And he called me back later that day and went, one of your riffs has definitely made a song. Can you come down? I was like, awesome. I went down. I didn't leave for 2 years.
Really?
We co-wrote the record together. I think I got 7 songs on it. Went to number 2 like 2 weeks ago. And a friendship between us all was born. I've got a writing team now with where we write for other artists. A couple who are actually here, I think, actually playing. And yeah, it's just been awesome. So then it was quite natural to say, we've wrote a record together. Do you want to come out the road? Which is going to be great. So I'm really excited. So it's a big, like, it's like you're away for 30 days and not going home. Just the touring I love. I love touring so much, you know.
And do you reckon you'll be getting up on stage during the Mcfly set to perform any of them?
There has been mentioned, because I think you could hear me quite clearly on one of the songs, my backing vocals. So maybe that one. But yeah, I had so much respect for those guys. I didn't know much about them before I met them. I just knew. I thought they were a boy band.
I kind of like the original impression of them was boy band with guitar.
If you liked rock like me, you didn't like them, and I just realised how ignorant I was, because they are some of the best players, the best songwriters. It's not like they need. I think some people think about songwriting, they're getting people in to write their songs. That is not. They are genius songwriters. It was to like add a flavour because they wanted a more rock album.
Well, at that point in their career as well, everybody suffers a little bit of creative fatigue.
Yeah.
And probably worked for you as well, doing something that wasn't Lost Alone or your solo project.
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah,
probably lit up a lot more creative.
Totally did. And it's the first time I felt, because I do a lot of co-writing. There's Lozique, Bex, and Cody Frost here this weekend, all of which I've wrote songs with.
Amazing.
Which is so awesome. It's the first time I've been at a festival where not only am I playing, but there's songs I've wrote like going away. It's so cool. It's such a cool experience to think that, because I just decided I was a songwriter and no one went, you can't, and somehow I am. It's weird.
Probably not something you expected at the start of the career, that you on a writing team.
No, not at all. I thought, like, I wrote everything in my band, and then when we did a hiatus, I just went, well, obviously I write songs for the people now, and then like suddenly somehow it has happened. But yeah, it's really fulfilling, and I never thought I'd be able to get as much out of like somebody else releasing something as my own thing.
Amazing.
But
and you're still releasing stuff with LostAlone.
Oh,
you've got the
so
final
much.
curtain call forever. That's
the final. Hold on, it's such a tongue twister. The final. I can't even say my own title. The final call for forever, which is a prequel to a song called The Last Call for Forever, which was on the album released last year. I decided to write a prequel.
Amazing, why not?
I thought about George Lucas and how he took 30 years to do the prequels to Star Wars, and he did it with the baggage of fan input and 30 years of life. And I wanted to write a prequel to a song, which I don't know if anyone's ever done, while I was still quite close to the song and getting that same thing. So I wrote the first song. I won a cruise to New York City, obviously, and I wrote that song on there. So I tried to get that feeling back, and that's the new single, The Final Call for Forever.
Final Call for
which
Forever.
We're getting to play for the first time today, having released it last week.
Fantastic. So not only are your singles everywhere, but you're also playing
the new ones. Yeah. I'm
going to have to wrap it up there, because you're a very much in demand man, and I don't want to hold you back, because if you're late to stage, then your PR is
if I start hearing our intro come in, I'll be like in trouble.
Drop the mic, run.
Well, thank you very much. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, appreciate it. Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Welcome to the My James Rock Show.